In this video, I'm going to teach you how you can save $10,000 without even trying. Alright, so maybe saving money isn't quite as exciting as a Mr. Beast video, but with the right approach, the payoff can be just as big. Now before we jump into the how, I want to start with the why. Why am I making this video? Well, the truth is, saving money's hard, and starting from zero, it can feel almost impossible. Whether you're saving your first $1,000, building up a 6-month emergency fund, or just saving up for your next vacation, I'm gonna break down the 5 steps that you can take right now to reach your savings goal. Soup, money soup. Good to go? Keep going? I don't have a crew. Hey everyone, welcome to Money Soup here on the Dumb Money YouTube channel, where it's my goal to make personal finance as easy and interesting as possible. My name is Christian, and just a quick note, I am not a financial advisor. So as always, when watching any video on the internet, make sure you do your own research. Now in this video, I'm gonna teach you step by step how you can save your next $10,000 as fast as possible. And make sure you stick around to the end of the video, because tip number 4 is my absolute secret weapon. You don't wanna miss it. Oh, and a little behind the scenes, just between us, how to save $10,000 is just what people are searching for on YouTube. The truth is, these techniques will work with any amount of money. Shall we get started? It's funny every time. Step number 1, start at the end and work backwards. Now for this step, start by declaring in writing exactly what you want and when you want it. Studies have shown that just by writing down your goals, you become 42% more likely to achieve them. And I want you to be specific. Give yourself an exact number, even if it sounds crazy. Instead of just saying, I want to start saving more money, try something like, I want to save $5,000 in the next 6 months. And feel free to adjust those numbers to fit your specific situation. Now, if psychologists and motivational YouTubers have taught me anything, it's that a good goal is one that's smart, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. Giving yourself a dollar amount and a time frame can help you stay motivated and focused so you can reach your goal as fast as possible. And having a specific goal allows you to break it down into smaller steps. Saving $10,000 in a year, or even $5,000 in 6 months, can sound pretty intimidating. But when you break that down to $833 a month, well, it sounds a little more approachable. Break it down even further to $200 a week, now that's something to work with. Let's keep going. Step number 2, take out your phone for this one, or just swipe up out of this video whenever you're done. I want you to open your banking app. Open your credit card app. Figure out exactly how much money you spend in a month. Now, fair warning, this is probably the hardest step in the whole video, but it is without a doubt the most important. Now for this step, you're gonna write out everything you spent money on in the last 30 days, all right? Every time you paid a bill, every time you purchased groceries, bought a cup of coffee, or Venmo'd your friend 20 bucks, write it down. This will come in handy when we move on to step 3. And if you'd like some extra credit, try breaking these expenses down into categories so you know exactly how much you spent on groceries, utilities, clothing, etc. Now, why is this the hardest step? No, it's not just because I'm bad at math. It is also because for a lot of us, it can be downright painful to look at your bank account. As someone who used to spend way beyond my means, I would go weeks without looking at my bank account or credit card apps because I knew I wasn't gonna like what I saw. But I can tell you from experience that just knowing how much money you have and where it's going can be so empowering, especially when you combine that with the other tips in this video. Which brings us to step number 3. You like that segue? Step number 3 is to remember that saving money is just a math problem. Cash in minus cash out equals cash saved. So great, the most obvious money tip in the world. How does that help you save 10,000 bucks? Well, first of all, rude. You sound very judgmental right now. And second of all, it will help you because it makes the whole money thing real simple. Money in, money out. There's only 2 factors to focus on. And when you narrow your focus, it becomes a lot easier to take action. For example, to increase the amount of money coming in, you might take on extra hours at work, look for a different job that pays more per hour, or pick up a side hustle like DoorDash or Uber Eats. To decrease the amount of money going out, you might look over your monthly spending from step 2 and find ways to reduce or eliminate purchases you don't need. And here's another opportunity for extra credit. See if you can figure out the minimum amount of money that you could survive on for a month, if you had to. Back when I first did this exercise, I was shocked to learn that I was spending almost $600 a month on food as a single person, which at the time was the same as my rent. And I started just by making small changes. I began grocery shopping more. And on the few times a month where I would still go out to eat, I began ordering water instead of expensive drinks. Soon, I was saving an extra $200 to $300 a month that I didn't have before. And the key to this step that a lot of people forget is that you can play both sides. Let's say you need $100 by the end of the week. Well, sure, you could save $100 by not going grocery shopping for the week, or you could make an extra $100 by working overtime every single day. Or you could play both sides of the equation. What if all you had to do was save an extra $50 and make an extra $50 to end up with that same $100? Now that's not so bad. Most of us could probably save $50 if we sacrificed the name brands, bought more ingredients instead of prepared foods, hunted for the cheapest gas station, and skipped the coffee in the morning. Heck, each of those alone would probably save me $50. And to make an extra $50, shoot, I've probably got stuff in my closet I could sell for $50 on Craigslist. And if you find that's not the case and you want me to make a video on some side hustles you can do to earn some extra cash, let me know in the comments below. The point is, saving money is just a simple math problem. That doesn't mean it's easy, but it does mean that you can do it. All right, the moment we've all been waiting for. Step number 4 out of 5, the best money-saving tip you will ever find on YouTube. As I've said before, this is my secret weapon. It's a savings technique I learned years ago called forced scarcity. Now you may be thinking to yourself, wasn't that just another name for a budget? Not quite. In fact, in my experience, it's a lot easier and way more effective than using a regular budget. Remember back in steps 2 and 3 when we figured out exactly how much your life would cost, and then you did the extra credit to figure out the minimum amount of money that you could survive on for a month? Great. That is now the maximum amount of money that you're allowed to have in your checking account. So you can do this on a monthly basis, or you can copy me and do it after every paycheck. So I've done the math for myself, and I figured out that it takes about $800 for me to survive for 2 weeks. That covers my food, my gas, my utilities, and about 2 weeks worth of rent. Even includes a little bit of spending money. Now my rule is I'm never allowed to have more than $800 in my checking account at any one time. The moment I get paid and it goes above $800, the rest gets transferred to a separate savings account at a different bank, so it's much harder to spend. And this accomplishes 2 things. First, it forces me to save a lot of money. By removing that cash from my bank account completely, I'm able to live my life as if it doesn't exist, and I'm less likely to spend money on stuff I don't need. And second, it allows me to spend guilt-free. If you set aside money for savings the moment you get paid, you don't have to worry about spending every last dime in your checking account. There are plenty of weeks where I get to the end of the pay period and I still have $50 left over after paying all my bills. I then have no problem spending that money on a nice meal or a new piece of camera equipment because I've already contributed to savings. Which brings me to the 5th and final step. Step number 5, don't forget to reward yourself along the way. You know, a lot of personal finance nerds like myself, sometimes we get lost in the sauce. You know, once you get started down this path, a lot of people find themselves saving money just for the sake of saving money. Maybe you know someone like that in your own life. But it's important to remember that the point of saving money and building wealth is to give yourself and those around you a higher quality of living. As you continue to reach your savings goals, make sure you reward yourself along the way. Take your partner out to a nice meal, treat yourself to a little vacation, give back to your community in a way that's meaningful, whatever it takes to keep you motivated and to help you enjoy the journey along the way. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment below telling me which tip you found the most helpful and what topic you'd like MoneySoup to cover in our next video. Please consider subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one.